Back here, I've got butter melting up with a couple of cloves of garlic. I cheated on the bread because I always burn the bread. My friend Patrick made this bread for me, so it looks perfectly toasted on both sides. We're gonna set our burgers on nice garlic toast. Over here, I've got a couple of onions. And just to force them along, I just put a little piece of tin foil down over the top so that the onions get nice and tender quick. Put that over there. And then into this same skillet with the onions and the salt and the pepper that we cooked up in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons, 2, 3 of tomato paste. Stir that around so it can cook out a little bit. And then I'm gonna let the onions just hang out while the wine cooks out of them. We're gonna hit it with red wine next. These are gonna be some tasty onions, my friends. Douse the pan, couple of turns with some dry red wine. Once you add that, knock this back to low heat and just let those guys hang out. And man, are they some tasty onions. Now the burger, my butter's all nice and bubbly here, so I'm gonna go ahead and dress the toast. Hey, heads up guys, if you brown your toast underneath the broiler, leave the broiler on because you're gonna melt cheese down over the burgers when they're all done. So leave it nice and hot. Put some garlic down over the toast. Oh yeah, baby. How good does garlic bread smell, guys? I mean, is there a better smell? Tasty, tasty, tasty. Yeah, so I talk and sing to my food. You know, I have to remember that I have an audience in the room with me now. I'm used to being on 30-minute meals, you know, just talking to my food and amusing myself over the years. And now I hear people literally laughing at me when I'm talking to my food. And I'm like, oh, yeah, there's people here. A little sprinkle of Parmigiano Reggiano. And now our garlic toast is good to go. Over here, for every 4 big, huge burgers we're going to make, you're going to need 2 pounds of meat. So a half-pound burger each. And then we're going to put in a handful of finely chopped pepperoni. Because the base recipe for this, of course, was steak pizziola, and I always put a little pepperoni in that, in the sauce. Then I'm going to run my knife through some parsley. I put a little flat leaf parsley. And just about everything I cook, it just lightens and brightens the flavor. And then we're going to spice it up with a little bit of oregano. And a little bit of hot red pepper flakes. Salt and pepper. You really can't go wrong with this. I mean, what's not to love in this burger? And you know, I entertain with burgers too. I think that if you entertain with casual food, like a big, beautiful burger like this, your friends are just more relaxed and the stories are always better around the dinner table. So it's nice to have a fancy dinner party, but every once in a while, invite your friends over for some casual food like burger night. So I've got a little handful of pepperoni in there, handful of flat leaf parsley. Go easy on the oregano, guys. It's really potent stuff. Got a little dried oregano here. Just a couple of pinches. Kind of freshens it up to run your fingers through it. Here we go. Oregano means joy of the mountain. Why I know this? No idea. Just one of those little bits of information floating around up there. In Greek, it means joy of the mountain. Use that at your next cocktail party. Little crushed red pepper flake. Very little bit of salt, just a pinch, guys, because you got the pepperoni in there. Over the shoulder for luck, of course. Little black pepper, hits different place on your tongue. And then take your rings off and heads up. A special thank you. During my book tour this year, this wonderful man came to visit me and he says, my wife, she worries about your rings. She gave me this little brass elephant. I think they've been married something like 40 years or something phenomenal. And it was to remember to take my rings off, because elephants never forget. So cute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, rings off, hands clean, get down in there and have some fun with your food. Show that burger who's boss. Then when you go to form the burgers, here's a neat trick. Put it back together in one big ball. And then, with the side of your hand, score the meat. So you can see those are about equal quadrants, and your burgers will all come out the same size. Here's another neat trick. When you make the burger, make them thinner in the center and thicker at the edges, and he'll come out perfectly nice and flat every single time. I got a little bit of EVOO in the skillet. Gonna form the burgers here and drop them there. It's an open-faced burger they eat with a knife and a fork. Big, beautiful meal this is. We're not done there, kids. Next up, we take our onions. Look at these beauties here. These guys, yeah, they've been hanging out in a bath of tomato paste and red wine, my friends. The wine, of course, concentrates its flavor. The alcohol cooks out. And then you're left with this beautiful, winey, richly colored, lovely pile of onions to go up on top. And then, I told you it was like a cross between a pizza and a burger. Of course, it gets cheese up on top. Now, you can go one of two ways here. You could go with a nice fresh mozzarella, or you could go with a nice spicy provolone. Me, I like the provolone. You put the provolone down over the top. Hello, baby.